This one has had a lot of hype. I'm seeing this all over my For You page at the minute, and it's been in my watch list for the time being, and I think it's quite new. It's Heartstopper. Everything about the show, it just tells you everything what can happen in our lives. Well, season 2, we know what's about to happen there. Is there anything that we can expect?
I think you can expect a lot more of how the relationship evolves between Nick and Charlie. It's going to be quite enjoyable for the audience to see. There's a lot more world building going on as well in this season. You get to see more of other characters.
You're in a good mood?
Yeah.
Anything I should know about?
Maybe me and Elle decided to get together.
Oh, I knew it would work out! Oh, and I was the most special girl.
I wanted to portray the most supportive and loving mom I could be. To let my son be who he is. He can love whoever he loves and make friends with whoever he wants. Because in the Asian community, when I was growing up, there was not this materials on TV or books. So it was really a different time then. It was very difficult. So I wanted to portray a really loving, supportive mom, that it's possible. And it's not fake, because if I have a child right now, that's what I would do.
Oh, hi, I'm Emma Goswell. I'm Emma Goswell. And it's me, Emma Goswell, in the hot seat.
I realised that I was gay. I'd been to the theatre on a school trip. On the way back, totally fell in love with this girl that was in the year below me at school. Now, I kept that relationship secret for the rest of the school year. It was my last year at school. I was terrified. I didn't know any other gay people. I didn't know any lesbians. I was convinced I was the only gay person in the world. It was a very difficult and homophobic place, the 1980s. Our teachers were not allowed by the law to talk about LGBT issues. But there was nothing like Heartstopper or stuff that we've got now. It's about normalising LGBT people and just showing that love stories don't all have to be boy meets girl, and people fall in love from all different walks of life. And you know, why not show that on Netflix and on TV and get loads of young people watching it? It's just fantastic.
Here we go, season 2. I'm so ready for it.
There's a way it balances the idealised reality for young queer people.
It has impacted me because this has made me feel secure. The show makes me feel like home.
What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back. Before I get into this, I just wanted to tell you to please subscribe to this channel, because the more of you that subscribe, the better quality and the more I can invest into these. My name's Izzy Bushell. I'm a journalist and I make mini documentaries hearing people's stories, people that have been through some of the most traumatic experiences but have used it to change the world, make a difference and raise awareness on so many different issues and topics, and that is what I try and do in these videos / podcast episodes / documentary. You can also listen to them in audio form as well on Spotify, so do go and click the link below if you prefer to do that. But without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about today. It's all about Heartstopper. As you know, I have done a lot of videos of me reacting to the series. I reacted to the whole of season 1, and I also gave my predictions for season 2, which has just come out. But I also said that I wanted to spice things up for this season and speak to some really special guests that were either in the show, a part of it, whether that was behind the scenes or in front of the camera, but also people who have been massively impacted by the show, and just finding out about what makes it such a good show for young people and the difference it's made with the issues that it covers and everything like that. So I nearly did these as separate videos, but I just ended up doing it as one big documentary. So in this, we're going to speak to 2 very special guests, and you're going to see my reaction to the whole of season 2. And I'm also going to hear from you guys, the fans of the show, what you thought of this season and what you like about the show and everything like that, but also what you felt like was maybe missing in this season that you'd like to see in season 3, as it has been confirmed that there is 2 more seasons to this show. Let's get into our very first guest. I'm going to be speaking to Momo, who played Yan Xu, aka Tao's mum. Now, I'm really excited to speak to one of the parents from the show, because in this season, as you will see, we got to see a lot more of the parents. So I wanted to speak to her today, not only about what it was like to be a part of the show and be a parent in the show, but also why she thinks that this show is really, really good for a lot of parents to see, and why it sends such a good message to parents and kind of portrays both sides of a really supportive parent, but also parents that aren't as supportive. And you'll see a little bit more about that when you see me reacting to the series. So without further ado, let's find out a little bit more. How did you first get into acting in the first place?
So I was a professional dancer first. I was my last professional dance job was the Lion King, the musical in West End in London. I was there about 5 years, and just transitioning, I started doing acting auditions. And after a few times, I first got I got a job in Stathlet's Flats, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, I think I'm quite like I can do it, and I had a passion for it, so it just organically I got into acting that way. So that was about 4 or 5 years ago. I started acting about 4 years ago. Yeah.
And in terms of Heartstopper, how did that come about? How did you first get approached or audition for that, and what was that process like?
That process, so I got a self-tape request for Yan, for Heartstopper, and I was auditioning for it, and for season 1, and so the time frame is quite short to turn over your tape. So I had a weekend, and I remember going on the internet and buying the books. So I was reading it all on my phone. I spent the whole weekend reading the I think there was 3 volumes of it, and I just fell in love with it. And then of course, like learning the scene and doing the scene. And after a while, then I was offered the role of Yan.
Oh, brilliant! And what was it like playing one of the parents in the show? Because I feel like this season, the most recent season, we've got to see a lot more of the parents, such as obviously Tao's parents, like yourself, and Nick's parents and Charlie's parents. So, what was it like being part of that?
It was. I felt like it was a really great experience, because I got to like show myself. I wanted to portray the radically the most supportive and loving mom I could be, and to allow to let my son be who he is, and he can love whoever he loves and make friends with whoever he wants. Because in the Asian community, or East Asian, I'm Chinese, I'm originally from Hong Kong. When I was growing up, there wasn't this kind of materials on TV or books. So it was really a different time then. It was very difficult. So I wanted to portray like a really loving, supportive mom, that it's possible, and it's not fake, because if I have a child right now, that's what I would do. So yeah, it was very, how do you say, I really enjoyed my involvement in it. It allowed me to, and the show allowed me to bring the most fun and loving mom that I am to my son. Yeah.
And in terms of your character herself, and judging by what you've just said there, that you would be a very similar, if not the same sort of parent as she is in the show, would you say your character is quite similar to yourself, or was she quite different to anyone you've ever played before?
To myself, you know how like everybody, like human being, we have like 360, like a lot of aspects to ourselves. So the Izzy that you show to your parents or to your friends or to your lovers and or authoritative, they see such different sides of you, right? So it was just bringing a part of me that, like, I'm not always like that. I'm not 24/7 like fun, loving, and but so I brought that part of me to that character, within the context of the script and the story, of course, right? And yeah, it's very different than other characters that I've played. I'm so happy I got to show this side of me, because it's not very often I get to show that side, the fun and loving, the playfulness. Because I was a dancer, I told you before, and backstage we were always joking around and being fun and dancing, loving, and that's the cheeky part of me. Is like that sparkly, juicy energy of me that's totally part of me that will never leave me. And I'm so glad I was able to bring that out in this character. Like I said, the show and the script allows me to bring that in. I also played a mother in another show called Tell Me Everything. I also play a mother. That's on ITVX, and that's a kind of a different kind of situation. So there's more like pain and conflict between the parent-child relationship, and that's also a part of me as well. Being frustrated with my mother, being frustrated with your daughter. So yeah, so every character brings out different aspects of you, because like we're not the same 24/7.
And in terms of the show, what is it that you would say that makes it such a great show for young people? Because a lot of people have said that it's really, whether they're older or younger, it's really impacted them in the sense of they can really relate to it a lot, whether they went through that in school or whether they're going through that right now. So what would you say, what makes it such a relatable show to people, and why it's helped a lot of young and older people?
Yeah, I've had lots of comments and feedback from my own family and my own circle of friends. So my mother watched it, and she's in her 70s now, and she was so supportive to me. She was so supportive about the show. She was like, this would have never happened, like for her generation, of course not. And she was beginning to, like her mind began to open, and she was actually having dialogue and communicating with me how she is accepting and opening to all these ideas and the love. Like the main thing is the base, the foundation is love, right? Love kind of, the saying, love wins. And if you have love, it really shows that it doesn't matter anything else, as long as you're not violent and harming another person. Everything is solvable with love. And the show is, watching the show, no matter what age you are, it's because it's so loving, it just touches you, no matter what age you are. Because even me, I could relate to, when I watch it, my heart opens, because I'm like, oh wow, I wish I had this when I was younger, but I'm so glad I have it now, because it allows me to actually, it actually changed an aspect of my life. Because when I was auditioning for it, and I was reading Elle's character, because the scene that I auditioned in, Elle is in it, I have a friend who is trans, and he was in the same ballet school as me, and we did ballet school together, and then he transitioned to she, and we've known each other for ages, but I've never actually had a conversation with her and asked her about her story, because back then I didn't know how to approach her. And this auditioning process made me make that move and go, hey, can I ask you about your story? And then she's like, yeah, let's go on a FaceTime, and because she doesn't live in London, and we had a 30-minute chat, and I got to learn about who she is. And I was like, I can't believe I never asked her before. And in my mind, I realized it's not their job to explain to you. It's not their job to tell you their story. If you want to know, you can ask, and they can choose to share or not. And just auditioning for this show has made me a better friend. So from my aspect, that's how it changed me. And I've heard, I have younger people coming up to me saying that's the stuff they're going through. Like this season, the first episode was coming out, and I hear people who are older and said, I wish I had that because I came out really late because I didn't have that and had all these problems. And yeah, so I really enjoyed showing that, like portraying and setting an example of being so truly supportive and loving that is possible, so that people can see it's like, wow, parents can be so supportive and loving, and it is possible. So that I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to show the younger generation going, wow, it's possible. And maybe the parents watch it and go, oh, it's possible, I can do it, like yeah, so that's.
And would you say that's why it's been so much more impactful this time around with this series, showing a lot more of the parents? Because as you say, a lot of parents who might not be as accepting as the parents in the show might watch that and think, oh, this is I should be more like accepting. And so would you say having more of the parents in the show, this series, is a lot more impactful?
Yeah, it's I guess, like, on the other side, it also allows the parents or just anybody to see it and go understand the stress that younger people go through when they are just figuring things out, right? That was never really shown on TV before, like the stress and the pressure, at school, by themselves, with their family. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress for young people that they shouldn't really have, but yet they do. And parents wouldn't been able to see the insights, the details of it. But watching the show, you could really see those intimate moments where the younger people struggle to fit in, or to figure out what they actually want, still figuring out, and having it at the center of the story. They are the center of the story. These are the main storylines of the characters. Really allow, for example, the parent to see, wow, if I watch it, I'll be like, I'd like to understand more, and maybe it will open up more conversation between the family and the parents and the child. Maybe it will open conversation between parents and aunties and uncles, like with in the extended family. Just open up conversation and showing possibility and the loving vibes from it. I think that's very impactful. Yeah.
Here we go, season 2. I'm so ready for it. Oh, this is very dramatic. Start. Oh, he's got a picture of him and Nick by his bedside. Good morning, boyfriend. I'm so glad they ended the last season on a lovely note like that. I just really hope all goes smooth this season, but I've seen a few TikToks, but nothing too major yet. Luckily, I've not really seen any spoilers. But at the same time, I am also a little bit scared, because it wouldn't be a TV show if they didn't have a few twists and turns. Oh, he looks so happy! Especially compared to the last season when we saw him with the Ben guy. We don't talk about him. But apparently he's in this season quite a lot. Oh, there he is, Nick Nelson himself. Oh. Yes! I love his mum. I'm so glad she was like accepting. I've heard things about his dad though, but we shall see. I just want a stress-free TV show, please. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, I can't take this cuteness. I can't. That was a bit weird, a bit abrupt. And then, do Charlie's parents know? I know his sister does, but I can't remember if his mum and dad do. But maybe we'll see more of that this season. I did say I want to see more of the parents, and I think from what I've seen on social media, we do see a lot more of them. That's it, Charlie, scream it from the rooftops. He shouldn't be speaking to the rugby lads. They're not his friends. The look he just gave Elle there. He looks a bit annoyed there with Elle, which is weird, but I think it's because he likes her. The chemistry is real. Come on. Just get together already. Nick Nelson, give us a wave. Nick Nelson, give us a wave. Hello, Ashwin. Shout out to Ashwin, he was in the last episode that we did. Imogen. I'm hoping to get to see a bit more of Imogen, because I feel like she was portrayed really like annoying at first, and then we kind of like grew to like her, but then the season kind of ended as that happened. So I want to see more of her. Of course you are. Oh, who do you fancy, Imogen? Go on, spit it out. Spill the tea. Study hall. Nicholas Nelson. Oh, is he with one of the rugby lads? Has he been sat next to them? But then maybe they need to just make friends, but they need to learn not to be, you know, homophobic. You know, that's the least they could do. Oh, Christ. Oh, no, he's sat next to Ben! No.
My name is Mr. Farouk.
Drama.
My rules are simple.
He does not look happy. Why does he look so fuming? Jealous much?
Break. Nicholas Nelson.
That was very aggressive. God. Nearly came out. Oh, I think he will. I think he will. Because she seems like she'd be a good friend and supportive. Oh. Why does Ben look so fuming? What did he just say? The nerve on this guy. The cheek of it. He's just bitter. Sorry. Oh, what's his idea?
I want to rejoin the rugby team.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you don't have to do this.
He wants to be with his Nick. Oh, Christ. Go away.
Let's go, lads. All of them like girls league.
Play like girls. I'm sorry, it's the Women's World Cup right now. And they're smashing it. Excuse you. And who won the Euros? I'm hoping we get to see more of them as well. No. He does like you. Oh. Cute. That was a very subtle way of flirting. Love that. But he looks a bit confused. But maybe he just wasn't expecting it. But he does like her, you can absolutely tell.
We've been going out for 2 months.
2 months, mad. It's been 2 months since the last episode was like set, mad. Oh, my heart can't take this. This is too cute.
No more kissing at school.
I've seen a lot about the Paris trip though. I think a lot goes down at the Paris trip.
Are you staying to hang out with us?
Bye, we'll be going upstairs.
Yes, Tori. I want to see more of her as well.
I'm helping Nick come after his old friends.
Oh. Which friend? Imogen? Is it Imogen? I don't think it'd be one of the rugby lads because he's not talking to them. That was a bit awkward. I want to see more of him as well. Not really seen much of him. And he is part of the friendship group. Just because he's not in a couple. This isn't Love Island. Oh, Imogen. Yeah, so it is Imogen. What's going on with these two? He is being a bit awkward with her now. Oh. Oh.
Sorry.
What? Oh, he's being awkward. I guess he's just scared because they're such close friends, which I get. But, you know, when the chemistry's there. Oh, now I feel bad for her because she probably feels like he doesn't like her. But he does. Oh, now she seems sad.
You mean we're not dating? Oh no, I'm my friend.
He got very defensive there.
What is this?
Oh, no need to have a go at Nick about it. He's only getting defensive though because he likes her. He doesn't want to admit it. Oh, he's going to tell her.
Is it about you and Charlie?
Oh, she knows. She knows. Oh, cute.
Sorry, I don't actually know how to react.
I'm here for this friendship.
Well, now you know about Charlie. You have to tell me about your crush.
Oh,
Come on. It's only fair.
Fine, okay.
who is it?
It's fair.
Are you joking? No, 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 Imogen, run for the hills. No, no you do not. It's still light outside and they're in bed. Are they just in bed really early? Or so late that it's early? I don't know why I'm so invested in that, but, you know, it's not really important. Oh!
I should tell you.
Oh?
My boyfriend.
Oh, so his parents didn't know. Oh, so they knew he was gay, but not that he was with Nick. Right, got it. What?
Please don't say hanky-panky. And I suppose...
Too right. So they don't have a problem with him being with Nick necessarily, they're just strict about anything like that
You're telling people then?
in their house. So they're more like strict parents. Got it.
About getting bullied again?
Well, I love that she's a protective sister. Let's hope. That was actually a very interesting start to the season, first episode. Right, episode 2, lads. Let's go. Or was it parents' evening? We all know what that is. Leave him alone, he's got his nick. Oh, yeah, he keeps himself to himself. I think he's just quite shy. But I want to see more of him. I know, but when you're like in the start of a relationship, you are a bit more distracted because you're just he's in the honeymoon phase.
It's not Nick's fault. You've been going round each other's houses.
Can't blame Nick.
I think you and Nick need to spend some time apart.
That's not fair.
No.
I'm not banning you from seeing each other.
Millions of Netflix viewers beg to differ. They've got good intentions, you know, they're just being parents, you know, looking out for him, making sure he completes his schoolwork. Oh, this episode's called Family. That means we're going to see the family.
We're all very happy you're back from uni day.
So his dad does not live with them, from what I've gathered.
Stop bothering me, David.
Oh, I don't need to give him the 3rd degree. Oh, little pictures he's got. No, you can't ban Charlie from seeing Nick. There is no Charlie without Nick, and there is no Nick without Charlie. The universe will always put you back together. Tragic star-crossed lovers. Yes! Yes! Run away to Paris together. So he doesn't like his brother. This is going to be interesting. The cuteness of each episode. And we found out that Imogen likes Ben. Which... Oh my god, are they dating? No. Imogen, run for the hills. Please. I wonder what's going to happen between Teo and Elle this episode. Prom. I always think prom's a bit overhyped. I liked my prom, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing. Ooh, okay, so he does still want to hang out with her. So he's not being that awkward. No. Even if they don't get together, they at least need to like talk about their feelings and kind of decide what to do from there, because the way it's going at the minute is just a little bit awkward. Oh, gets to sit next to Nick. He's fuming. Oh, the jealousy on his face. He's so fuming. Do not flatter yourself, hun. Well, this is going to be awkward. It's not an excuse to hurt people.
Sorry, am I not allowed to like girls as well as boys?
But that's not it, it's not that. It's just how he treats people.
I do want to come right here. I'll believe that when I see it.
How dare he tell him that? Like, who are you to say?
Boyfriend, but you are just the same as me.
I don't think so, Ben. You ain't no Nick Nelson, I'm sorry. How dare he try and say that they're the same? Not even comparable. What's this brother saying? Is he as bad as he says he is, or is he actually nice? Oh Christ. Give him his phone back. There we go. He's clearly very bored. Does he have any hobbies? Yes. Sneak out. Go around Nick's. Oh, they'll get together in the park. Nothing can come between them. Oh, this dog's so cute. That's such a green flag as well when someone like gets on with your dog. Oh, did he post a picture of him? That is so cute. They've gone Instagram official now. I think Nelly loves me. That is so cute. Aww. Why do I get the feeling Teo's going to turn up to this open day? He knows that she's there.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of making me feel more.
Belle Priestley from TikTok.
I'm out. I'm just see that.
I want to see more. I wonder how much we'll get to see of Naomi's character. Will it be like more next season because we only like meet her this season? Oh, cute! And she's made all these nice friends. Oh, I'm here for this friendship. I don't think he's gonna like this. If it's meant to be between them, it will be. But it's gonna throw a spanner in the works a little bit. Aww. Although he has to sit next to Ben in his exam. I mean, he said it. Thank you. Saying what we're all thinking. No, but because she's with him and she likes him, she's just not going to see the red flags. Your friends always see them first. So I do feel bad for her. She will see them. She'll learn. People learn. Oh, he looks fuming. Season 2 is literally just like 30 minutes of Ben looking fuming every 5 minutes. Go on, Nick. You've got this. Oh, Nick, no. It's just so hard at school. Like, you're expected to do all these exams for all these different subjects when you have so much personal stuff going on. Because you go through so much personal stuff at that age. It's just difficult, and I'm glad they're sort of reflecting on that in this show. Oh, he's turned up at her house.
I've been a bit weird.
You have been acting a bit weird. Oh, they're going to confess their feelings.
I'm going out tonight with my new duo.
No.
Well, wow.
Then I like that she's making all these new friends because she moved schools and I liking this sort of showing her as like sort of an independent, being independent and doing things for herself. But then does that mean they're well suited if she's quite independent and he's not and doesn't like being alone? There's nothing bad about either of those things, but together, will it work? I'm starting to question that now.
Hi.
Oh, did the dog just growl at him?
What was your name?
That's when you know someone's not very nice. Dogs know. Dogs are a very good judge of character.
So I'm Nick's older brother. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
That was very awkward.
We're leaving to go later.
Oh, you tell him.
I just wanted to meet the guy that turned my little brother gay.
Oh, jeez, how dirty.
I'm bi, actually. And so what?
You tell him, Nick.
I'm bi, actually. So, if you're going to be gay, I'm still gay.
Oh, Christ.
This is exactly why I didn't want
Not his brother as well. He's just as bad as the rugby lads. You tell him. God, no. Oh, I hope this doesn't come between them. Aww. Let him be happy. I know they're just worried about his schoolwork. They don't mean it in like a non-accepting sort of way. But it is sad because just like let them be. Let them be happy. They're just so happy. No, it's not your fault, Nick. Is that what he feels bad about? Oh, we sent a voice note. Is it kind of bringing back to Charlie quite traumatic memories of when he came out? Is that sort of what this is about here? Because obviously we didn't really see that in season 1. They've only like spoken about it in the show, like they never showed that. Is that why? Which I totally get because it sounds like he had a really awful time, which is really sad. Oh, cute! She's got her little gang. Were they best friends too? This is why I want to see more of the parents because it's so nice to see sort of the relationship between the parents and the youngsters and just how supportive they are, but then also they're also reflecting on, you know, family members that might not be supportive, because that does happen, like Nick's brother. You tell him. You tell him. He needs to fight for Elle. If this is going to work... Oh, I didn't realise that his dad wasn't around anymore. Oh, I didn't realise that. Maybe, I don't know if that was ever mentioned in season 1. Maybe it was and I missed it. I'm not too sure.
I like Elle, okay?
Yes! Took him long enough.
I don't know, and it's going to leave me devastated for years to come.
No, it won't.
But I'm going to tell her.
Do it! Yes! Oh! Ho, ho, ho. Talk about leaving us on a cliffhanger there. Episode 3. We're getting through these quick.
A restaurant, that's a classic date location. Isn't that a bit boring though?
Can't go wrong with the restaurant. Food.
We went to the beach. Basic. Well,
Beach is not basic. I love the beach. That's such a good date.
best friend in the whole world.
I feel like because they're already best friends though,
Like here, like in
the date that they have doesn't matter as much because they already know each other. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they could go to the cinema or something because they already know each other. Whereas like if that was a stranger, I feel like that's not a good date because you can't speak. But then they want to be able to speak because it's like their first date. So I do get it.
Did you hear we're having an end of DCC party in the woods?
Oh, the rugby lads.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Yeah, cool, maybe.
No.
Friends with Harry and that.
Not until they apologise to him and change their ways.
Yeah.
So it's mainly Harry that's like the worst one, as in they're okay, from what I'm gathering. But then in a way they're sort of nearly just as bad because they were sort of following the crowd and, you know, they weren't defending him against Harry, so... Oh, so one of the teachers now knows. Did she see anything? I hope she's an ally.
This term, I've sensed some distance has grown between you and most of the lads.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, because they're homophobic.
If the lads say anything out of line, you tell me immediately, alright?
Love that! She's an ally. Right.
Yeah.
An ally teacher. That's what we need. This is why I wanted to see more of the teachers, because I think they play such a big part. I think if you're doing a series about a school, you need the teachers in it a bit more and like to hear their personal stories because they play such a massive part in it. And I hope it sends the message of like what teachers can do to prevent homophobia in schools and help people like Nick be feel comfortable in the school being themselves. Oh, he's Googling. He doesn't need to Google, she likes him already. He just needs to tell her. I'm looking forward to this Paris trip. I'm sort of dreading it at the same time though, like what is actually going to happen. Because they're building up to it quite a bit. They keep mentioning it and I'm like... They're so supportive of each other. There's a meeting about this Paris trip. If that doesn't say there's going to be drama written all over it, I don't know what does. Yeah, she just said that she loves her. Why wouldn't she say it back? Maybe she's just not ready, but no, I feel bad for her.
Do you want to come to that end of Sam's party tonight?
Oh, are we going to see something blossom there? Not even necessarily relationship, but friendship.
Okay, everyone, can we all quiet it down a little bit, please?
So he's going to the party. Considering he's not speaking to them,
Our Parisian adventure.
I'm more nervous, to be honest. No. Stop it. Oh.
You want to go on a date?
Yes.
Tonight?
Yes, yes, yes.
Tonight?
Yes.
Maybe we could go to the cinema.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, they are going to the cinema. I predicted that. That's a cool cinema. It's like really retro.
But you hate that.
Oh.
Yeah, but I want to make this your new thing.
Oh. The more I'm seeing this, the more I'm shipping it. I know I was a little bit sceptical in the last episode, but the amount of effort he's gone to, come on.
Look after him, or you die. Tori.
I love how protective she is. I get why they're nervous, because it's like the same time they've been together in the same environment as all the rugby lads and that outside of school. How's the date going? That is massive popcorn. God, you don't get that in the Odeon or the View. Where is this cinema? More for your money there. They're holding hands. They're holding hands. It is getting real now. Oh, why did he have to go and make it awkward? I get it though, it's hard. They're going from really close friends to, you know, a little bit more. This is why the cinema's not a great date, because they can't speak. I feel like they need to speak. I kind of take back what I said about the cinema being alright for them to go on a date, because they can't speak. I don't know if a party is the best place, because they've all been drinking. I don't know, I think he needs to speak to them on their own. Not necessarily them, but like the environment. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that tent's cute. Oh, her friends are there. Oh no. No. Oh. I think if he wants to be with her though, he needs to accept the fact that she has friends. I honestly get it, like he doesn't like being on his own, he has a bit of a fear of abandonment. But it won't work, otherwise it won't. No. Yes! I love that Charlie stood up for him there. He's really, just really seeing him come out of his shell. Not that he was in like a shell before, but like he's getting more confident at, you know, standing up to the nasty people. I love that they're showing this, that, you know, there's no one should ever feel pressured to come out, and you don't owe anyone anything. I love how supportive he's being.
Part of me just wants everyone to know you're my boyfriend.
But then it's going to take time, which is totally normal. Well, right, episode 4. Or is this the Paris trip? I'm low-key nervous but excited because I feel like a lot's going to happen. They should be able to just sit on the bus together though, but I get they're trying to keep it more private for now. Oh, that's a bit awkward because I feel like Tao doesn't really like Nick still. I think he's got lacking a bit of trust there. So I think they need to bond. That was awkward between Tao and Elle just there. Them two need to speak and just, you know, sort it out. Is there something going to blossom between Isaac and that guy? I can't remember his name. Who knows? All I know is that Tao and Elle need to sort themselves out and just make up whether they get together or not. Because even if they don't get together as a couple, I still ship them as friends, massively. Who's he speaking to? Oh wow, are we going to meet Nick's dad? Tao's been a bit awkward with Nick. Oh, I really hope she says I love you back, because they are cute. Don't change the subject, come on. She's avoiding it. I think maybe she doesn't feel the same way, but she's just too afraid to say it, or she's just not in that place yet. But I feel like something's going to happen there. He's fuming. Ben is still fuming. What's new? Awkward. They'll make up. They've been friends for so long. I want to see more of these teachers. Like, we've seen a bit of them in the last few episodes this season, but I'm hoping on the Paris trip we get to see a bit more of them. Oh, apple juice. If you remember the first episode of the season, then with the apple juice.
That's new
Oh.
for everyone on this trip. who doesn't even...
The way they look at each other. How can you not ship them? There's been times where I've been sceptical, but the more as time goes on, the more I ship them. He's so rude. Put Imogen. Dump him now. Nick Nelson's speaking fluent French. What's going on here? Oh, is this a flashback? I'm starting to see the cracks in their relationship a little bit. It might not be as deep as she thinks, but like, of course you would overthink it in your head, because especially when you love that person. I've seen some TikTok saying that they're going to do some sort of coverage on what, like, one of the issues they're covering is Charlie's relationship with food. So I'm interested to see how they do that. I haven't seen anything yet. This is sort of the first glimpse I'm getting of it. They're on another date and they don't even know it yet. No. That's the thing, as much as we can get frustrated with him sometimes because he acts a little bit, not possessive, that's a bit extreme, but a little bit like that. When really he's just doesn't want to be alone, and that's not a bad thing. She obviously still likes him, come on. And I think that can make you like someone a bit more when you see how they are with other people, whether that's just strangers or their friends.
That's it.
God, this is like Grease. Tell me more, tell me more. Oh my god, at least look interested, Ben. You tell her. Someone needs to say it. Oh, they've gone out for a little meal. What's going to go down here? Oh god, awkward. Save him, Nick. Oh, go away. Leave him alone. You tell him.
What are you trying to say?
Go for it. Say it. Tell him. You tell him. That's my girl. That is my girl. This is the best scene out of the whole series. Oh. Tell him, Harry. Yes. Jog on, mate. Get the first train home. Goodbye. Oh, poor Imogen. She finally said it though. Oh, they've gone to check on her. God, he's very blunt with him still, isn't he? Aww. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anyone else, as RuPaul says. Oh, hoo, 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 hoo. So next I'm going to be speaking to Emma. Now Emma is a presenter from Manchester and she identifies as gay. She lives with her partner and they have a baby. I wanted to speak to her all about her coming out story, what it was like for her, but also find out from her perspective why she thinks Heartstopper is such a great show for young people. But the main thing I want to speak to her about as well is that she has a podcast and a book where they basically share other people's coming out stories. I really want to find out from her also why it is so important to give people a voice and let them share their story on another platform. So we're going to speak about that as well. So she's going to come over in a minute and we're going to sit down, have a good old chat. Let's see what she has to say. Obviously coming out is a very different experience for everyone, but tell me a bit about what yours was like.
Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed so many people myself to hear their coming out story, and the one thing about coming out is you never do it once, but you do always remember your first few occasions, and I guess the biggest one is always family. So I realised that I was gay very specifically on the 26th of January 1989, and there's not many people I know that can pinpoint the exact moment that they know that they were gay, but I can pin it down to a particular evening where I'd been to the theatre on a school trip. On the way back, totally fell in love with this girl that was in the year below me at school, and we did actually end up starting a relationship. Now I kept that relationship secret for a good few months, well in fact the rest of the school year. It was my last year at school, because I was terrified. I didn't know any other gay people. I didn't know any lesbians. I was convinced I was the only gay person in the world. And I just knew that I would never come out while I was at school. It was a very difficult and homophobic place, the 1980s. And so I never came out to any of my friends or anyone until the day I left school, or after I'd left school. And I did tell my best friend, like, literally the day after we left school. And that went pretty well. And then I went home, and my girlfriend I was completely in love with finished for me. And I was literally the worst teenage dirtbag ever. I was just so depressed, but it was a very difficult time because I was depressed. I was full of all teenage angst. I was heartbroken basically, but I couldn't tell anyone. So I was living with my family, but couldn't tell them why I was so heartbroken. And going through a really tough time. And eventually my dad just sat me down. He was like, "For God's sake, Emma, what the hell is wrong with you?" Got me in his bedroom, sat me on the bed, and like literally gave me the parental sort of multiple choice of possible disasters. So he said, "What the hell is wrong with you? Are you pregnant, on drugs, or are you a lesbian?" And I was so repressed and so just unable to say the word. I couldn't even say, "Yeah, option 3, I'm a lesbian." I just sort of went, "Yes." But he worked it out. And, you know, I think all things considered, it was one of the best options. And so that was my coming out to my family. That was coming out to my dad first. And he basically had to drag it out of me because I was just so upset all the time, and not me and not myself. And he took it fairly well. He basically, I do remember one thing he said though, which was, you know, what a shame. I was really looking forward to the grandkids. Which is, yeah, what you would say in the 1980s, because there weren't many LGBT families, were there really? And poor man had to wait. How old was I then? 18? I had to wait another 32 years before I gave him grandchildren. So I finally became a mum at the age of 50. So he got a grandchild at the end. In the end.
And back then as well, I suppose they never spoke about the options of having children in a same-sex couple and what options there are for people.
No, and they never talked about the possibility that we'd ever get married. It was just a pipe dream that, you know, we'd ever have the opportunity to get married and have children. It was just something that wasn't even talked about. You know, we were busy, you know, talking about LGBT rights. We were busy going on protests to ensure equal age of consent for gay men, because back then you had to be 21 or you could get done for being a sex offender if you had sex with anyone that was under the age of 21. You could have sex with someone who's 19 if you were a gay man and get prosecuted, and people did. So, you know, we had a lot more fights to fight. We had Section 28 as well, so we had all these other things before we started thinking, oh, marriage equality, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be nice to have those sort of rights as well. So yeah, it was a very, very different time really.
So you have a podcast which was then turned into a book, and it's where you share different people's coming out stories. Why is it so important to give people a platform where they can share their stories, and giving them the platform where they can do that?
Because it's all about visibility. And, you know, I can remember very, very clearly how isolated I felt in the 1980s, literally not knowing a single other lesbian, and not knowing, apart from Martina Navratilova, not even being aware of any lesbians in the mainstream. Like, there were a few pop stars that were gay men. You know, we had the likes of Andy Bell and Erasure, we had Jimmy Somerville, we had Mark Almond, we had Boy George, but there were no women. There were no, to me, there were no visibly gay women, whether we're talking, you know, in politics or in music or in the arts. There wasn't anybody out there that I was aware of, and certainly no LGBT characters in mainstream TV shows or programmes. You know, which is why stuff like now, I mean, I remember even in the 90s, Coronation Street used to get criticised for being like too gay and just having too many gay storylines, just because there'd be a couple of gays on one street. Which was, according to the mainstream press, just too much. But there was nothing like Heartstopper or stuff that we've got now, or, you know, mainstream dating shows like I Kissed a Boy, or anything with gay characters. Really, it just didn't really exist. It really didn't. You know, until Queer as Folk came along, which was massive for Manchester and for the queer community. There was just very, very little. So I think telling stories, you know, whether it's in mainstream dramas or whether it's in books or whether it's in little podcasts like my own, it's just so important. It's just for people to go, there are other people like me. So I know that it's important in terms of visibility, because I actually get loads of amazing messages on Twitter or email, people going through the website and just saying, I was feeling really isolated and, you know, I found someone with a similar story to me on your podcast, and now I've gone back and listened to all the other episodes, and it's really, really brought me a lot of strength and a lot of courage and a lot of understanding. So that visibility and sharing those stories, I know for a fact, is really, really important to people.
And I was reading about how the podcast came about in the first place. And am I right in saying you lived in your friend's loft?
Yes. Yeah. So I had recently split up with a very long-term partner, my girlfriend of 9 years, and I ended up moving in with a friend. I was basically sofa surfing for ages and practically homeless, and then I moved in with a friend who had like a little apartment in her the top of her house. So my friend John just used to refer to me as the lesbian in the loft. But she works at 5 Live. She's a brilliant broadcaster. Her name's Sam Walker. She's a podcast queen, and she had a little studio in her basement. She said, "Oh, Emma, I really think you should do a podcast, and why don't you share your coming out story, and then you could collect other people's. I think it'd be really interesting." And I totally wasn't sold on it to begin with, and I was just like, "Oh, Sam, you know, it's 2017. Who's interested in my coming out story from the 80s, or, you know, why is it important, and isn't it all irrelevant now?" And I'm so glad that she twisted my arm and convinced me, because it is the best thing I've ever done. You know, and, you know, sadly, we're 5 years down the line from those initial conversations and starting the podcast. And I think it's even more relevant and important to share those stories and share visibility than ever before. She's now moved to America, where it's, you know, becoming an increasingly intolerant and homophobic and especially transphobic place. It's, you know, it's really important to keep on doing it and sharing those stories. And it's always been just a passion project for both of us, really. You know, she's still involved in it. I do the interviews and find people and but then she puts it together and publishes it and puts it out there, and, you know, we kind of do it together, really. And she's moved to America, so we have to do things long distance, but but I'm so glad we're still doing it, and we're about to launch our fifth season in September, October, so that's exciting.
So in terms of the TV show Heartstopper, why is it so important for young people in school to have TV shows like this?
Yeah, again, it's just about visibility, and it's about normalising LGBT people and just showing that love stories don't all have to be boy meets girl, you know, and people fall in love from all different walks of life and fall in love with all people from all other walks of life. And, you know, why not show that on Netflix and on TV and get loads of young people watching it and celebrating it and loving it? Because, you know, it's a really hard time, isn't it, being a teenager? It's quite shit, frankly. It's really difficult. So to see yourself and your life or your problems reflected back on the small screen and have it, everyone's talking about it, and just, it's just normal. There's 2 guys falling in love. They've got a friend who's trans. It's all just completely normal. That's not the news story. The news story is what's going on in the subplots and what's happening. It's just fantastic. It's just all about normalising it and just showing more and more LGBT people on screen.
And would having a show like this helped you when you were in school?
Oh, would have made a huge difference. But I mean, again, we were in Clause 28, so our teachers were not allowed by the law to talk about LGBT issues or normalise it or have any LGBT literature. So if they found out that any of their pupils were gay, they couldn't advise them or tell them to watch a certain thing or point them in the direction of services or anything like that. It just wasn't allowed. So, I mean, we were so far from, you know, Heartstopper that, I mean, I'm really lucky now that I've been invited to several schools to talk because of the book. It's given the opportunity. People found me and brought me into schools to talk to LGBT groups. Can't imagine an LGBT group at school in the 80s. We have come a long way, and we should celebrate that. Really, it is quite incredible that young people. I went to one in a school near Rochdale, and most of them were. I get confused with all the years now, but they were most of them were sort of like 14 or 15. But then there was one young lad who was 11 and at the LGBT group, and I just thought, how brilliant, how fantastic that he feels confident enough and assure himself enough that he's going to go after school to the LGBT group and hang out with the 15-year-old girls. But yeah, it was just really, really heartwarming. And I think, for him to have an LGBT group at his school, have supportive staff, and then be able to go home and watch things like Heartstopper, I think he's just, hopefully in a much better place than we were growing up in the 1980s, for sure.
Oh, so he's messaged his dad. But his dad not replied? I thought they were going to meet up. Oh, come into the bathroom.
How did you get that prison in?
How do you think, Tal?
I cannot believe it. The actual...
Why is he angry at him? Is he just being sarcastic or is he joking? Oh no. Go away. Ben's jealous, he's fuming. Every episode is just Ben fuming for half an hour. Get off the coach. We thought you got the train home in the last episode.
Starting with Charlie Spring and James McEwen.
Them rugby lads.
I don't want to go with Nick Nelson. Oh, you're a right Salford boy.
They paired Nick Nelson and Ben. No. No, this is going to be so awkward. No. Oh, she still likes him. Please just get together already now. It's been long enough. Go for it! Isaac, you tell him. He's such an underrated character. Oh. She does. Why is she avoiding it so much? They need to feel like they can communicate, and right now they don't have that. He still looks fuming.
It's your mission to mess up my life. You never cared what I do.
Stop blaming everyone for your problems. You're the problem, Ben. Have you ever thought about that? It's you. You're the problem, it's you. It's not an excuse, I'm sorry. I don't care what you're going through, there's no excuse to be a bad person. You've got to take accountability, and he does not do that. I get that he was going through stuff, but I don't think you can excuse the way you treat people for that. Still got to take accountability.
Is that Hickey from you then?
God's sake.
What it was? You jealous?
Yes! Oh, I love Nick Nelson. That was probably the best line of the series. And Harry stuck up for them, which is really unusual. I think he's starting to have a bit of character development. Oh, his dad's called.
Don't mess it up like I always do with everything.
Aww.
My art coursework, your life.
He has a lot of self-doubt within him, and it's sad, because he shouldn't.
Boss, I was talking about you with Isaac. Someone overheard, and next thing we know, getting...
Oh, I see. But then he didn't intend to do that. Aww. I love their friendship. What was he going to tell him?
He said that he still liked you.
Oh, God.
Like, he genuinely thinks that he still has a chance of getting married. He doesn't.
Surely not. I don't think Charlie would go back there.
Oh, your mum's sexy. Wow, okay.
Oh, that was weird.
You always avoid me. Sometimes...
Something's going on here. She's keeping something.
You said you didn't mean it like that. No, I did.
If you say it, you mean it.
Somebody get Mr. Baruch.
Oh, Charlie.
What's that actual monstrosity?
She went for it. She went for it. Yes! Yay! Finally.
Control it.
I'm so glad they're covering this issue though, because there isn't many like series that really have in this depth, especially a series about like teenagers and like people in school. I've never really seen this sort of issue covered in another TV show before.
She's still my dad.
I wonder if we'll get to meet his dad then. Oh, they've escaped. Are they going to get in trouble though with the school? They're off to see Nick Nelson's dad. And we've not met him yet, so I'm actually excited. Oh, don't tell me he's not turned up. Oh, he's there. Is that him there?
I'm sorry, boys. Something has come up and I just come get it.
What? Oh, that didn't go too well, did it? But we'll see what it's like when he goes to dinner next week, if he goes to dinner. Aww. That's such a key thing in a relationship, letting them rant to you. I love that. Oh, is he going to tell them?
I was going to keep that.
Episode 5 was a mad one.
You know, kids.
That's what happened.
Don't think that's an excellent one.
Is it just me, or is there something sort of blossoming between the teachers? I've been sort of meaning to say this for like a couple of episodes, but I just wasn't sure if I was overthinking it. What's going to happen between these two? The last episode they had a bit of a rocky conversation. Oh, they've done her a little surprise party. She looks a bit sad though. What is he doing here? Who invited him?
Did you have a question for someone else today?
I wonder who that is. I'm so happy for Isaac. Oh. Is he not fully comfortable in himself yet? Is that what it is? No.
Well, no homophobes at my birthday party.
Yes!
I'll never say anything like that. Cool? Can you come in?
Part of me just doesn't buy it. I don't know. Yes! That was brilliant. It was just the way he was like laughing when he was saying it. I just didn't buy that apology. But then I've seen people on TikTok saying, oh, Harry's had such big character development in this series. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm not buying it just yet.
Imogen got a boyfriend last year and then stopped it. No, you got pregnant.
Oh, is this beef? What's this coming up?
Charlie to kiss.
No, 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 no. Oh, God. Who is this person? Why do they have the audacity to ask him all these personal questions? Oh, oh no, oh, no, no, no. No, not on the bed, not on the bed. Yay! Yay! She said it back. Oh! Was I right then? I was right. I knew something was going to blossom there. I could sense the chemistry the minute they arrived in Paris. There's something in the water in Paris. Aww. Well, who's commented that? Is it true guys who date? Oh. Who commented that? I'm actually curious to know. Was it one of the rugby lads? Someone from school? So they're back on track now. I'm glad they're back on track though, because they are cute. Oh, I can't believe how much went down on the Paris trip. Like Tao and Elle getting together, Tara and Darcy saying that they love each other, Ben being fuming, which isn't really news, but saying he wanted Charlie back. What? Why is he sliding to his DMs? Oh, she got into art school. I think that's going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works in their relationship.
Me and Elle decided to get together.
Yay! Oh, she's such a supportive mum.
Sick.
Back to the brother.
How come Nick gets invited somewhere I don't?
Because do you have any friends?
We've been invited to Nick for a dinner party.
Oh, but his dad and his brother are going to be there, so how is that going to go? Sorry, reference. Stop harassing him. Does he not get the message that Charlie is not interested in getting back with him? I'm so happy for Elle. No, don't say that. So did you get... You can see he's a little bit worried about this. She did get in though. Why is she lying? That's a bit weird. Is this her house? We need to see a bit more of her home life because I know there was like a reason why she hadn't let Tara meet her parents. But I don't know why that is. We don't know anything about that yet. Oh my god, leave him alone. It is going to be a massive test for them, I think. Oh, I see. But does he actually not like him? Is he just denying it? Or maybe he just genuinely doesn't? Oh. Tal looks a little bit stressed.
Romance and sex surprise with everything else when you don't feel those forms of attraction.
Oh, I see. So
Growing up,
maybe is Isaac asexual?
words to describe what that
Is that kind of what they're uncovering here? I'm glad they're covering that though. Again, another topic that's never really spoken about in a TV show.
Somewhere I always felt safe.
Why do I think it's going to be like a painting of Tal?
Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it is! Why, how come I predicted that?
Wherever you are, I still want to be with you.
Oh! Maybe they are going to be alright. Oh god, what is he doing there? Why has he just turned up at this art school?
Sixth form, so you really hate me after this. You'll never see me again.
Oh, he's leaving! I just don't think you treat someone like that if you like them. At least he's taking accountability at last. Doesn't change what he did, but it's something.
I wonder whether it's what I want.
Exactly.
Because you want me to forgive you so you can feel better about yourself.
Is that why he's saying sorry?
Glad you realised what you did was wrong.
Could be, probably is. I mean, he's taken accountability, but I still think that Charlie has every right to not forgive him or want to see him again because, as he said, he took all his choices away.
Property development? You should see some of the places Dad renovates.
Oh, Charlie's parents are there.
Work isn't everything, you know.
And Tori. Ooh.
Nick told you how he met Charlie.
Oh, God. Stop stirring things.
And Nick was obsessed with getting Charlie to join.
Why is he stirring things?
I played rugby when I was at university.
Thank you, Tori.
No, I guess not.
No, well, there's still time.
Why is there this pressure to, anyway?
Girlfriends.
David, be respectful.
I love her.
Why do you always do this? Just trying to help.
Oh my god, he's such a little stirrer.
I don't care what you think about it anymore.
The
You don't
whole...
care to even see us 1 or 2 times a year.
Yes!
And I don't know why you're acting like you are 10 years old.
He is. He is literally a child.
I do not care.
Yes, Nick! Oh my god.
Always causing a fuss.
No, he is not. You're the one that's stirring things.
Yeah.
His dad's not really said anything.
It was nice to meet your boyfriend.
Well, maybe he is accepting.
I love you. It seems like a very nice young man.
I don't know. I can't tell. Because then he just said he doesn't understand it.
Drama queen boyfriend.
Oh my god. What's he on about? Yes, Tori, yes!
You are a pathetic little man.
Oh my god.
Talk about my brother like that.
One of the best characters in this show. I'm still not sure about Charlie's parents. Like, we've still not really seen enough of them yet.
Charlie didn't do very much.
Maybe they'll cover even more of this eating disorder storyline with Charlie in the next season. We've seen like little bits of it in this season. Is that her mum? Why doesn't she want her to wear it? God, this is so deep. Oh my god, is she running away? Is she leaving? The moment we've all been waiting for, the season finale. Oh my god! He is making it Instagram official. Oh, he did it! Oh. I really hope her going to this art college isn't going to drive them apart, because I do really like them together. They're official!
I'm not being weird,
Oh, what's happened to Darcy? Where's she gone? I'm a bit worried, like what has actually happened to Darcy? Where is she? I think those two have bonded a little bit more. I think they're a lot closer now. Maybe I was being a bit sceptical in the Paris episode because it kind of looked like they were still a bit like iffy.
My dad died when I was 12.
Aww.
You know, I think a lot of the reason I get so freaked out about losing my friends is...
See, now I feel so ignorant to how I sort of thought of him in the first season, because I kind of got this like impression that he was like this possessive friend. When really, when something like that happens to you, of course it's going to have a long-term effect. So I completely hold my hands up and apologise that I misread Tao when I first watched this, and I'm so glad that this season we've sort of got to see him on more of a personal level, and I loved that conversation just there. That's the really first time that we've seen them properly bond and open up to each other, whereas in the first season he like really didn't like Nick, so it's nice to see that friendship sort of develop. I hope this prom all goes well. But what has happened to Darcy? I'm still like quite concerned. This is actually quite worrying. Well, she's here, she's alive. Darcy's still not turned up. Is she going to show up though? We haven't seen too much of that girl yet.
Sorry if we made you feel weird about telling us.
Oh, his friends have accepted him. Character development of the rugby lads. Right there. Oh, she's going. I think they'll be okay now though. Surely? I guess that we'll see more of that in the next season. Oh, we've not seen them since their little romantic night in Paris.
Dinner and drinks?
Yes, cheeky date. Maybe we'll see more of that unfold in the next season as well. She's here. Is she going to her house? I guess what else was she gonna do?
Oh, wait, Darcy's...
That was so rude.
And how would I know that?
Because you're her mum? Oh, she's horrible. Oh, I'm sorry, what kind of parent is she? But her family aren't accepting, from what I'm gathering here. I'm glad we've got to see more of her home life though, because we didn't really know her as well in the last season. Maybe they're gonna be okay. Oh, I think he just wants Charlie to sort of open up to him a bit more, because it's clearly something he finds difficult to talk about, but I love how Nick's at least trying to encourage him to, because he should feel like he can talk to Nick. And I like that they're sort of covering this as well. We didn't really get to hear much about what Charlie actually went through with the bullying and stuff the last season, how it's affected him long term. Still not 100%. As we always say, we've come a long way, but it's still got a long way to go, and that's why shows like this are so good to spread that message. That is heartbreaking. That is actually heartbreaking. But again, another issue that isn't covered in a lot of shows. Why is this so emotional? We've really got to see the relationship between them unfold in this series on such a deeper level. Was he just about to say? Say it, Nick. Or is he not? Ah. Maybe the next series. Or what's he gonna message him? Yes! Is he gonna send it? Is he gonna send it? Is he gonna send it? Please tell me they end the season on that. I would love that. Send, 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 send. Please. Or is he not? Oh no, not a cliffhanger! I cannot wait another year to find out whether he sent that message or not. Are you joking? When's the next season? When is the next season? I need it already. I need it now. Wow, Season 2, that was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I'm going to give my overall opinion on this season and what I would kind of want from Season 3 based on this season, although it might be a while before we actually get to watch that. My overall thoughts on this season. I absolutely, and I'm not just saying this, but I loved it. I feel like they covered so many more issues, such as eating disorders, being asexual in school, having a supportive parent versus having unsupportive parents, siblings, we saw a lot more of them. I feel like they covered a lot of issues that a lot of shows haven't, and I cannot wait to see what they do in the next season. I also feel like they gave us a little bit of taster of some things that might be to come in the next season, such as with the eating disorder storyline with Charlie. We only saw like bits of that, not too much, which is kind of giving us a little bit of a taster of the kind of stuff they'll be covering in the next series. I feel like they might do that, as well as his bullying story. It was really good to hear about how that's affected him long term, because they didn't really speak about that in the first season. So it's nice to hear a bit more detail about how it affected him, because it obviously wasn't shown in the series. We only get to hear his perspective on it, and it gives us a little bit more of a taster into his character. We got to know Tao, I feel like, so much better in this series. I feel like he was massively sort of misunderstood in season 1. I definitely misunderstood him. I don't know if I'm the only one. Finding out a bit more about his family life and what happened to him really got us to know his character in a bit more depth. As for what I want in season 3, my only critique with this series is we got a bit of a taster of the teachers and what they're like and a bit more about them, but I want to see more. So if I had to pick anything that I wanted to see more of in this season, it would be definitely more of the teachers, but I feel like they're going to do that more in series 3, as well as some of the other stuff that they covered a bit in this series but not too much in depth. Obviously, I couldn't do one of these videos without getting your perspective on it, you guys, because in series 1, when I reacted to it, I got so many comments analysing parts of the show and different episodes and what people thought of it and how it's impacted their life. And I read quite a few of them out in my last episode/video. I read out the comments that I'd got for my reactions to season 1, but I wanted to spice things up a bit and actually hear what you guys wanted to say about it. So I got in touch with a few of you, and this is what some of you had to say.
This show speaks volumes. This has impacted me because this has made me feel secure. The show makes me feel like home. It makes me feel so comfortable. I am part of the LGBTQIA+ community, and watching this show has just made me feel even better. I love the love story between Charlie and Nick. I love the queer representation. I love Alice Oseman for making this comic into a series. And I love the fact that we just didn't get 1 season or 2 seasons, but we're going to be getting a 3rd season. And I really hope that the queer representation continues, because this is very important in younger queer adults' lives and older queer adult lives. And I don't think people understand that this show is for everybody.
What I love about Heartstopper is the way it balances the sort of idealised reality for young queer people, where like young queer people can thrive in each other's company so easily at such a young age, which I think is the sort of coming of age that a lot of us queer people wish we could have had. But it's also mixed in with a good amount of realism and insight as well, even with things as serious as bullying and eating disorders and stuff like that. I think the way it sort of blends both of them together sort of give us an idealized version of what life for young queer people can be, how young queer people are capable of happiness, but also reminding us of the issues that we're starting to face. I just think it's great, and it's the sort of thing I wish I had when I was a teenager. Nick's coming out journey in the first season meant a lot to me to watch, because it was not long after I came out myself as a bisexual man. So a lot of the things that involves of him finding himself really resonated with me properly. And even going through to second season, I like how even though Nick's come out, we still explore the complications behind navigating through that, like the way he had to constantly correct people when they got his sexuality wrong, which is something I really relate to, and it's something I need to do a lot. There's still a lot of bi-erasure, and I'm glad that Heartstopper is there to say no to it. Bisexual people exist.
Thank you so much to everyone who sent me a little voice note giving their perspective on the series, and everyone who commented on my previous videos about this. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much to Momo and Emma for taking part in this video. As I said, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back for some more stories very, very soon. We've got some really good ones lined up. So do stay tuned, and I will see you then.